Check this out, you guys. The yogis know their stuff. The yogis knew their stuff and they pass it on to us. And some of us have the great privilege and opportunity to keep these systems intact and try to share them with the next individuals and groups of people that are interested. Um, One thing that the yogis knew and have passed on to us is that the brain is located in the whole body, out to the fingertips, brain and spinal cord, down to the toes. The relationship between the breathing and the nervous system, they understand and understood. What this translates to is Hatha yoga is always a system that deals with the whole brain. And when I mean the whole brain, I don't just mean the right and left hemispheres. I mean the whole brain in every part of the body. So if you find yourself in a full, comprehensive traditional yoga practice, you will always have a comprehensive sequence in that practice. A lot of times in this country, in North America, and probably lots of other places too, I think this is very common. Um, there will be yoga that's very focused on the musculoskeletal system, for example, like yoga for hips, which I'm not saying don't do. We need to deal with the hips. But that makes it a very narrow focus on the musculoskeletal system. And if that's what we do on a regular basis, or if we do sort of hodgepodge of one day it's shoulders, one day it's hips, we're losing out. We're really actually missing out on the fundamental total nervous system practice of a Hatha yoga system. So I've written a blog about it. There are just a handful of Hatha yoga systems that I am aware of in the midst of this massive sort of yoga industry in North America right now. I've done Bikram Yoga, the Ghosh lineage original hot yoga practice for 21 years, so I definitely know the most about that. I've also learned and been initiated into the Isha Yoga Asanas program. That's an hour and 45-minute practice, not all that different from the Bikram practice. I will tell you, it's a set sequence. It takes longer. It's about an hour and 45 minutes and has over 30 postures, maybe close to 40. But there's a lot of similarities between the standing sequence, the spine strengthening series. That's a wonderful, wonderful practice. To become an Isha Yoga teacher, you need to go live at the center in southern India for at least 6 months. So you're not going to find like bazillions of those teachers out there, but they are available in Michigan and throughout the country and world. I highly recommend that practice. The Ashtanga primary series is also an intact, and then there's beyond the primary series, but an intact Hatha yoga system that at least is, trying to take care of the whole system at every practice. There are Iyengar teachers who know how to put together a system practice that may vary from individual to individual or as the level progresses. But I just want to stress that, sometimes I feel pressure from social media to make a video like, oh, yoga for your shoulder, yoga for your jaw muscles, yoga for your legs. And every time I go to start it, I just feel like this doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't compute in my brain because I know through my experience that we are fundamentally trying to deal with all of the systems, even beyond the brain and nervous system. But even if you just think about the brain and nervous system, the fact that it is from the head to the spinal cord out to the very ends of the nerves, and the original hot yoga practice, the Isha yoga system, I can speak firsthand for both of those, that they address the core and the extremities all together at the same time. And that's what you can do anything. I never want to put someone down or say something negative, but I do find a lot of very reduced and incomplete things in the world. Probably more of the things you find called yoga right now on the internet, on social media, and even in brick and mortar studios are kind of slivers of yoga systems. And so if you are coming from one of those, like, welcome, no worries. We're here to educate and help you get your full potential and just fill in what's been missing. It's nobody's fault that they ran into the way yoga exists these days. Like, that's just what's available. So many people don't really understand. So I just want to welcome anybody who's transitioning from maybe even you've done some very nice online practices that are short sequences that wake you up in the morning. These things are really, really wonderful. There's such a refreshing change from, say, sedentariness to movement. So I welcome that they're in the world. But when you're ready for like a full Hatha yoga system, they still exist out here, a little bit fewer and far between than the mainstream, what people call sort of regular yoga. But when you come to Hatha yoga practice, you will always be holding postures in stillness. There won't be any flowing, very little movement actually in the whole class, just enough to get you into a posture and out of a posture. There will always be total relaxation and stillness after every posture. And it will be a comprehensive system that doesn't change. Now, you can always go beyond the basic system to get more, but you always have the fundamental basic system with you for your life. So it can act as a measurement tool. You can use it to see how you are doing emotionally, physically, mentally, and energetically. So we welcome you. Come and try it out. See you and see you and see you again for many, many years and decades to come.